Yes, the boys, welcome back to another video. As we are flying in this gaining phase, I thought it's only right. Let's get the 5 things that I'm doing now better than ever, and we go through them. Because if you then apply those same 5 things to what you're doing now, or the next time you're going into that gaining phase, guess what? You can absolutely nail it as well. So literally, I'm flying. I'm sat at 83 kilos. This is the happiest I've been with my physique at this weight. Food is great, I feel great, training's great. So I'm gonna break down the things that I'm doing this gaining phase better than any other gaining phase before. So stay tuned. I am just gonna remind the Thursday boys to check in. So it is currently a Wednesday. Always what I do when I've just finished the Wednesday check-ins. Wednesday boys, if you're watching this and you are a Wednesday check-inner, absolutely drilled it. That was an unbelievable morning of check-ins, that was. And we're close to Christmas, and most people slow down, but we ain't slowing down, we're absolutely flying. I wanted to share one of the boys, what Lou's done, because Lou has dropped 30 kilo, which is just ridiculous. I'll show you now off my results on IG. I'll show you a few of the boys actually. Let's get into this. But we've got Connor, who absolutely smashed his priming phase. There's Phil. So unbelievable work there from Connor. Steve, 20 kilo pulled off. Absolutely nuts. And then we've got Lou, 30 kilo pulled off, mate. 30 kilo, like just absolutely ridiculous work. And then we've got Sam, who we posted last night, 10 kilo pulled off Sam. So again, priming phase, just absolutely drilled, ready to grow now. So that is the work the boys are doing. So we'll remind them, and then we'll get into number 1. Which, as I'm then about to make my oats, will be the quality of my food. Digestion is better than ever, and I'm gonna go through how that will massively, massively help. So I'll touch more on that when I've reminded the boys and we made the oats. Let's get it. Right boys, so as I prepare to get stuck into the biggest bowl of oats you've ever seen, I've put way too much water in it. So we're left with literally a absolutely ginormous bowl of oats. But food is number 1. The main thing here, and this links in with, this is kind of point 1 and 2, right? So the quality of the food, I'm eating less processed food than ever. Of course, I'll still go out for a meal, I'll still make some stuff with Lucy, I'll still have that there, but less processed food than ever before. Digestion is much better than it ever has been before. So straight away, I just feel absolutely fantastic. So in terms of digestion, look at what you are eating. That's why I like to keep some things consistent with me and my clients, because I can say, right, like just recently I had it with rice, I touched on it in the last video. Wasn't digesting great, so now I've swapped that with some cereal. I know that's not the healthiest thing in the world, but looking after digestion, that's okay. We've still got plenty of fruit, we've still got plenty of veg, we've still got plenty of healthier foods in the diet for me to have some cereal in there, right? So just paying attention to that digestion has been absolutely number 1. That's been paying off in terms of how I feel, in terms of how I feel when I train, in terms of me actually uptaking those nutrients properly and actually taking everything on board like you need to be, and not just going to the toilet or, you know, being super gassy all the time. Staying away from those things. So the quality of the quality of my nutrition is a massive, massive one there. And that also links in then with my start point and not rushing the jumps up too much, which we'll get onto a little bit later. But in terms of that start point, boys, I want to be in a gaining phase now for a long time, right? So my start point was the photo shoot, the leanest I've been. So I've got that massive runway from there to grow. So do not start your gaining phase with too much body fat. All you are gonna do, if you do that, you are literally gonna get to a point where you're feeling too soft, and then you end up pulling down again. You're like, oh, I'm too fat, I need to pull down. Then you'll be like, oh, I'm not getting lean because I've not got enough muscle. And you'll just yo-yo within that, and you do not want to do that. So just trust the process to get yourself in a good position. Get in a priming phase. Go onto my Instagram, have a look at dozens and dozens of the boys who've smashed their priming phase and they're now growing. It is worth it. You need that runway to grow. You need that runway to actually stay in a surplus, and that comes from that start point. If you get too soft,
you'll just pull down. You'll have to then diet down for ages if you stick with it, and insulin sensitivity can be in a terrible spot. You can just be gaining a ton of body fat when in reality you never needed to do it. You can just be in a good position and then nice and slowly grow. So in terms of those food increments, I was on 2,800, 2,700 calories for about 5 weeks, 6 weeks. Didn't change any of that. Scale weight was going up nicely. So if that scale weight's going up, do not add food. If a client's scale weight's going up, I won't add food. I'll keep them with it. I'll let them know, look, that is the plan. It is working, so we stick with it. We don't just make changes. So digestion and looking at that, number one. Number two is 100% that start point. Being in the best start point that I could literally possibly be in has led to this phase now being super productive. So the lowest I got was 78. I'm now sitting at 83 kilo, and I'm still really happy with the position I'm at. That is the first two. I'm gonna eat the oats now. We'll give you a taste test. Cheers, boys. Oh yeah. Yes, the boys, we have just sat down to edit some bits and make some program change for the boys. We will get into point number 3 before we get work done and watch the Reds. Calling it now, I always call it early doors. Call it early doors. We'll go for a Nunez brace tonight. We'll go for a Nunez brace, boys. I'm the one Liverpool fan, I think, that's not giving up on him. Leaving our Nunez. Point number 3. I've kept the big juicy one to now. Bang in the middle. Control of every single movements. I'm pretty strong, right? If you follow me, if you watch the videos, you'll know for my weight, I'm pretty strong on all movements across the board, really. That's not me being big-headed. That's genuinely just kind of how I've always been into the gym. I think partly for me, just going in and training like a fucking monster, that's just a byproduct of that. When I get carried away with that, basically, in gaining phase in the past, I'd just build up so much fatigue that, number one, I'd just be smoked. I'd be absolutely smoked from it and I wouldn't be recovering well. Number two, I'd be using a little bit of momentum on my presses, in my squats, in my leg press, maybe cutting range a little bit. So I wasn't getting as much stimulus. So I was getting less stimulus and more fatigue. So all around training quality, even though it looked like I was moving a lot of load and I was genuinely training as hard as I possibly could, I wasn't getting as much out of the movements. So you'll see now, everything's still just as intense, everything's still just as heavy, right? It's just way more controlled. Way more controlled. Like I'm doing more load now on some movements with more control, and I'm just feeling so much better in every single aspect of that movement and getting way more out of it. And just that connection there, like with my quads on a leg press, night and day difference. With my chest on a press, night and day difference. That's probably been the biggest one, is my chest. Just slowing down them presses and not just having that ego of just banging through it. So trust me, boys, I know it's fun to just bang through, but it's also fun actually keeping all of that on the working muscle, still taking it all the way there, still training like an animal, still progressing, still lifting some heavy load like you'll see in all the videos. But trust me, having that control been an absolute game changer in terms of what I'm actually getting out of the sets and in terms of managing my fatigue as well. So that is number 3. That is a massive, massive, massive one. So I am gonna finish these little bits now, and then we shall watch the Red Men. We will take you through point number 4. Bash. Right, we're gonna get the Reds on, boys, and it makes me laugh, right? When I'm here and Lucy's not here, like, Christmas tree lights don't go on. We've got another Christmas tree there. We've got more lights there. I think there's 5 lights that don't turn on just because I can't be arsed turning them on. I think that's just a boy thing. I swear if I was on my own here, I'd have the lamp and the telly like I've got now. I might get the Christmas tree lights on. We might bang them on, but we just need the Reds on. That's probably like, it's one of the only times I can actually switch off a bit when I'm watching Liverpool. So I can't say, to be honest, I've been in here much because we've been grafting away, but we will always watch the Reds. And we will go through point number 4. So the 4th reason why this gaining phase has been more productive than ever, my volume is lower than ever. Now you might be thinking, Luke, how the hell does that mean you're getting more out of things? And honestly, boys, again, that fatigue wise, like I genuinely go into every session and I am progressing every single set, every single session. It's very rare right now that I'm not progressing a set. Because I've got less work to do, I can put 110% like into every single set. I am focused, I am locked in. I am not leaving a rep in the tank unless I've like got a little tweak somewhere and I'm being a bit careful. I am not leaving a rep in the tank. I am going all in, full send every single session. It's progressing well and that's reflecting in my physique. So not only, like I said, have I got even more control of those movements, but I've actually got a little bit less volume. It's nothing crazy, like, but it is just less volume than before on paper. So I can go in, I can get that session done in an hour and a half, and that's it, job done. And you know, that might seem like a long time, but in the past I was in there for a lot longer than that, especially with filming stuff and stuff like that. And that's another little point that we'll throw in with this one as well, just not wasting time on my phone. I'm in the gym to train and I'm getting that boxed off and getting that nailed, and that's made a massive difference as well. I've touched on this a lot on this channel. Not wasting time just being sat on my phone. I'm in, I'm getting it done, and then I'm getting out, and that's making a massive, massive, massive difference with the actual quality of my session. So if you feel like you're just wasting time, you've got junk volume in there, get rid of that, boys. Get in there, do the work. It will make a massive difference, and your motivation to train will be sky high as well. So the last point is gonna be, literally, boys, just being in mentally a spot of just wanting as much progress as I can possibly get. That is literally where I am now. That's in terms of coaching, that's in terms of what I'm trying to do with all of my guys, and that's in terms of what I'm trying to do with myself as well. Like I've been banging on recently about, we've got 3 choices, right? And this is what's literally helped me this gaining phase. You can either, and if you struggle with motivation, this will be massive for you. We can either go backwards, stay the same, which we don't want to do either of those, or we can push on and make progress constantly, right? You cannot get away from things being hard. It's very hard staying the same or moving backwards because you'll feel unfulfilled and you won't be happy with where you're at most likely. If you stay in the same, you may as well be going backwards there. So them things in my mind are just in the same boat. So what I'm massively doing with everything is pushing for progress. That's with coaching, that's with training, that's with everything. And I massively suggest now, lock into that mindset. Like really, really get into that mindset. You might think it's cheesy and you might think it's this, you might think it's that, but if you get into that mindset with whatever you're doing, say if you're trying to coach and you're training hard, just do not feel bad for wanting to constantly progress. Of course, we have socials. Lucy still wants to do stuff normal people do. Absolutely, that's fine. But lock in with being relentless for that progress, and you will be, I've been both ways. You will be way more fulfilled pushing for that progress, because guess what? When you are like that, you will be making progress. That can be from a business front, that can be obviously from this video, from a gaining tissue standpoint. So that is what I would really, really, really lock in with. So those are my 5, boys. If you nail them, if you really dial in with those, I promise you, you will have a good, consistent gaining phase. Be patient, be consistent, slowly move that food up when it's needed, good start point, nice controlled movements, look at digestion, get that mindset on point, don't waste any time when you're in the gym, bring that volume down if you need to. You will be in such a good spot, you really, really will, and you'll grow a lot of tissue. So, little bit of a different one, boys. Let me know if you enjoyed that. Apologies if the light is like flickering behind me, but it's because I've got that game on. But I'm gonna finish off on here. Let me know if you enjoyed that, because that's a little bit of a different type of video there than normal. But I enjoyed filming that. I enjoyed going through those. So let me know what you want to see. Let me know if you took anything from that at all, and any questions, as always, boys, fire them down below. So I'm gonna get some work done for the boys. If you are interested in coaching, the link is always in the description, and we can jump on a call. Like, comment, hit that subscribe, boys. I appreciate it so much. Videos incoming 2024 is going to be massive. Let's get it.